What are we afraid of? What is the fear that stops us from sharing the good news, do you think?
I think sometimes we feel like we need to have all the answers, and if we don't, that we can't engage in some of those topics, um, which I think is one of the wonderful things about our faith is that it's true. You don't have to know it all. I just need to show it to you. I don't need to fully understand it. I can just share my experience of it. So we shouldn't feel like we need to know all the answers or fully understand it because we never will. And but that's what's great about something true and good and beautiful is you just show it to somebody. You share your experience of it, and hopefully it moves them closer to it. But I think definitely a fear of looking silly, not knowing the answers. Um, I think a lot of us too, and this was the case for me, is really focusing on me first, and not in like a selfish way, but like fixing what's wrong with me. Because I think when we start to do that, a lot of other things start to take care of themselves. We start to live a life that's more compelling. Um, that was Chesterton's famous letter that they asked, "What's wrong with the world?" And he wrote in and said, "Dear sirs, I am." Sincerely, G.K. Chesterton. Um, and I think that's a great reminder for all of us. And I think we get it was easy. I became very zealous and I was like, I know all the right answers. I just need to tell everybody the right answers. And what I needed to do was become a saint myself. I needed to work on myself. I needed to sanctify myself. I needed to grow a lot in how I was loving people and what that meant. And so I think if we realize that, like, that's one of the main ways we're going to share the faith is filling ourselves up first, um, and then we overflow from that.
Mm.
That it's the overflowing of our own hearts, I think, that are going to change the world.
Yeah. In the book, you quote C.S. Lewis. We are half-hearted creatures, fooling about with drink and sex and ambition when infinite joy is offered us, like an ignorant child who wants to go on making mud pies in a slum because he cannot imagine what is meant by the offer of a holiday at the sea. We are far too easily pleased. When you feel yourself becoming half-hearted in something, what do you do with that?
Yeah, I love that quote because I think it's so relatable. I think everyone, when you read that, if you've ever struggled in the spiritual life, I think that resonates hugely because there's always this immediate gratification or this thing I know I can do now or my plan. And deep down, we know that it's not as good as what God wants to give us, but we just can't let go of it. But we have to let go of it in order to go on that holiday at the sea. Um, for me personally, I have to find inspiration in places because it's just otherwise your mind will just continually forget. It fades that impression when you go on that, you have that retreat experience, you read that great book, you have that great conversation, you're very fired up and you can see the long-term vision, the benefit, the value of that holiday at the sea that you're going toward. And you're motivated for that moment, but then, 10 steps down the path, you're back in the mud, playing in the sand again. So because you forget. And so you have to find habits that are going to continually renew that and keep you inspired and continually form you in that way, because certainly the world is going to continually try to keep grabbing you, pulling you down for that immediate gratification.